Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs Podcast. Andy, it's season 7, episode number 19. Tonight's the sports edition. How are you?
Yes, very good, thank you. Very, very busy. We're recording this on a Sunday night, so we won't. So many events are going on right now as we're recording. The women's selection show is going on right now. World Baseball Classic games are going on right now. So as you watch this on Mondays, we normally drop it. Yeah, we're a bit day behind on this one.
So we got sports going on, college hoops, NCAA, conference tournaments, Major League Baseball, spring training. Let's kick it off here. Go ahead and take over the screen
right
here. We'll start talking some.
Here's one thing I got to go. World Baseball Classic. These things kind of bother me. I'm just using, since it's Joe Ryan for a local kid. He was originally on the team, then pulled off because of injury. He's been back on the team. Now he's off again. This is one thing I don't like with this, that either you're on the team and you're on the team for the whole tournament, not just as needed stuff, like they're calling guys up from the minors or something all the time. Either you're on the team or you're not. That's one thing I got wrong with this. I don't know if other countries are doing this with the major league teams as they're there. Some can't. Japan was playing over in the Orient. They couldn't just call guys up and down like Team USA is, because it's here where the games are being played in Florida. So that kind of bothers me, but hey,
yeah,
that's me.
Now, Clayton Kershaw, they used him to pitch and then said goodbye to him, and he made his announcement retirement, and then now they said, let's bring up Joe Ryan. So they had these things all planned as moving pieces, but I agree. You're either up for the whole time or out for the whole time. You're not just swapping players in and out.
Right. This happened in the game yesterday between with Italy. Guy for Puerto Rico hits a home run. Homeboy reaches over the wall to catch it, so it's a ground rule double. I mean, Italy crushed anyway, so it didn't matter. But it kind of makes me miss the days of the Metrodome and the plexiglass where you just couldn't reach over. Us baseball fans are wild animals. Cage us in like the animals we are. You have a little plexiglass there, or just then you eliminate this fan interference bit. Just saying. Saying. All right, here is the World Baseball Classic going into Sunday night. Like I said on my personal page, I failed Flags of the World, so I'm not sure who all these people are. I think that's I know I recognize the U.S. and Italy is advancing. I think that's the Dominican Republic we're playing, because I've seen those ads. And I think that's somebody else who beat Japan. That country beat Venezuela. There we go. Woo.
Okay.
So there's your matchups. Like I said, the U.S. games are going on now. Follow our social media tonight and tomorrow for the results. If not, watch it on Fox yourself. Speaking of tournaments, countdown has begun. New Perk Shock be Jordan this year, baby. Here we go. And now I saw this,
Andy. I had forgot, but I'm gonna write that down. But we're gonna advertise again. Look for our spot in the program brochure at the state tournament this year. We are planning to advertise again. Look for the Sports and Songs ad.
Mm-hmm. We are proud sponsors of the state tournament. Okay, now here they got this thing came up. I saw a guy mentioning it, and I want to talk about it here. Everybody's putting statues in front of their stadiums all the time. But it used to be just a good old street name you got. Because you got Killaroo Drive is still down there. The stadium ain't there anymore, but it's still Killaroo Drive down by Mall of America. You start building these statues all the time, they're going to kind of lose their how special it is. What's the borderline between okay, first of all, what's more important in your opinion? Having a street named after you or having a statue?
Boy, I'd say a statue.
But the street name can last forever, too. I mean, people are going to go, Hank Aaron, who was that? You have to look it up. At least the statue, you're going to have a little plaque saying who he was, I'd hope. At least Hank Aaron, 30 years from now, 40, maybe even kids today, sadly enough, they'll go, who was Hank Aaron? At least if you see a ball player statue at a ballpark, it's a ball player.
Now, Andy, here's a good good point. I remember this from last year. I went to the Atlanta Braves game, and because they're old, they had a series of statues at the old Fulton County Stadium. Then it was called Statue Park, or Memorial Park or something. And then they said we're going to build a new not Turner, but the new one, Truist Park. And they said we're going to take the Hank Aaron statue from here and put it there, but keep the other ones here. So they're at a college football stadium now, the actual statues.
Yep.
But they said with Hank Aaron, we're going to bring it. And then I think they commissioned an artist to do a second statue to replace the one at the old park or something. I don't have the story right. The story comments, listeners can comment. But so there's now, I think, 2 statues of Hank Aaron. And there's the old ball players are still at the old park or something like that. So, they're in a big footprint like this, a concrete deal, and you can't just say, hey, let's move the statues. You really can't move them. But if you work hard, it can be done. So now there's multiple statues, multiple names. Oh, it's a disaster.
Now, see, here's where I kind of like what some places have done. The football stadium has their own little museum attached, so at least it's inside a building. All right. So we got the big greenhouse downtown for the football team. Build something attached to that, or if they ever go to a real stadium and play outside, like God intended the game to be played, keep that indoor arena and just make that a Minnesota sports museum. All sports statues are in there, all the plaques, all the this and the that's.
Yep.
A
one-stop shop. You could go.
They could have kept
12 months a year.
They could have kept the Metrodome the way it was,
and
had the Vikings play somewhere else, and that could have been the Minnesota Sports Hall of Fame there. The seat where Kirby's ball landed could have been saved. Home plate could still be there. You can have the goalposts always set up. Whatever, be kind of cool, but what do I know? Now the
Vikings, they have a specific Vikings memorial, like a Hall of Fame or a memory lane in Eagan at the football complex.
Right.
So if you go to spring training or training camp there, that's all there. You can get a tour. You can book a tour and pay for that and see the legends of Minnesota Viking history of that.
Do they have
statues and whatnot? All of the Vikings.
Do they have a Bob Lurtzma statue?
Just Viking. They, I don't think they do. They have his jersey though. I think
that'd be the reason I'd go.
So yeah, it's kind of odd, but
here's home runs by decade. I saw this on a thing the other day. For most homers in the 60s, of course, greatest Twins player ever, Harmon Killebrew. And that's really the fifth highest spot. Babe Ruth had 467 in the 20s. Jimmy Fox 415. Duke Snyder had 326. But in the 40s, Ted Williams only had 234. Folks, we were at war then. Guys were taking 3 years off to go fight in a war and come back. So that's why that number dropped. It wasn't anything to do with the players being worse or better or anything else.
Yep.
Whole thing called the war going on.
Yeah, the numbers drop off there, but boy, that's interesting. Willie Stargell, Mike Schmidt.
Harmon with 393 in the 60s. That's
by
almost
decade. I like that.
And okay, look at that. Babe Ruth 467, Jimmy Fox 415. Harmon's was almost at 400. Okay. A-Rod and McGuire have asterisks by it for their 40-year average. Don't get me wrong there. But then Nelly Cruz at 346. Him and Harmon were really the bookends of the last real big, good power hitters that weren't juiced. I mean, Mike Schmidt wasn't juiced, but compared to the Nelson Cruz and Harmon, he had only 313. Sorry.
Yeah.
And Judge is
that is unbelievable.
All right. NCAA tournament was announced for men a little bit ago. I've got 2 points to bring up here. Miami of Ohio was undefeated except for their first losses in their tournament. Well, we'll give them an at-large bid at the play-in game.
Okay.
Wow. Whatever. They crapped on them, and I don't like it. And then the Bison made it, but they get to play Michigan State in the first round. So seems like the Bison are always the 14th seed when they go in, too. I don't know. That's just me. I'd have to do some research on that. I don't know if the girls are making it. That announcement's on now. The Bison women did lose to the Bunnies in the finals, so I know the Bunnies get the automatic bid. Bison had a great year. I doubt they'll get an at-large. I'd like to see them get one. Follow our socials, and you'll find out for sure on that one. Speaking of basketball, here's girls' tournament results. The number 2 seed, Sleepy Eye St. Mary's, is your winner over Mountain Iron. Now let's see if we can find a pattern here. Number 2 over number 1 in AA. I'm sorry, number 1 over number 2. It was number 2, 1 and 2 again in the finals, but number 1 won. Providence Academy over Marshall. 1 against 2 in AAA. This time the 2 seed got the advantage. Bedille St. Margaret over Stewartville. And number 1 against number 2 in 4A. And number 2 got the win there. So it was 1 against 2 in all 4 classes. And the 2 seed won 3 of the 4. So there, you have that.
Congrats.
All right. Tommy Kramer, friend of the show, put this up. I thought it was kind of interesting. Fun fact, he says, Kyle Murray's uncle is Kelvin Murray, who played for the San Francisco Giants, and he was at bat when Randy Johnson hit a bird with a pitch. Kelvin is good friends of my family. This is Tommy Kramer speaking, here in Minnesota, and has visited a few times at the house. Great guy, great family. I'm looking forward to having Kyle Murray here at the Vikes. So there's some pictures there.
Okay.
So, that 6 degrees of separation,
I like
watch
it.
for Tommy Kramer and Kyle Murray to be buddies in pictures too coming up. That'd be kind of fun. And just one more thing. The USAL, United States Arena League. Dun, dun, dun. Season 2. Breaking news there. They got the Red Dog Athletics, the Island Boys, the St. Paul Bears, you say. Yes, welcome to the USAL. The undefeated St. Paul Bears from Minnesota. The St. Paul Bears held the number 1 rank for most of the 2025 season and were the 2025 UIFA champions. That fell totally off our radar. We missed that one altogether.
I've never heard of this, Andy.
We're here to educate, Dan.
Well, we had Mr.
Ricky
Gopher
Foggy
football quarterback on for the arena football. We had Ricky Foggy on, friend of the show, for the Minnesota team when they had their arena football league. That was scratched. The team was scratched. A bunch of things folded there. They never even played a game, I don't think. And then that was 2023, I believe. And now 2025, the St. Paul team won it. And now they're starting the 2026 season. I never heard of it. Our interns didn't give us the info.
We were going to the intern. Jeff had just started. Kevin was trying to show him the bit. So they're interns, Dan.
The Bears. So we haven't provided any coverage at all. In fact, we missed it altogether. We have a local champion, a national champion in sports. One thing the Minnesota fans always complain that we don't have. And last year we had it. And I never heard word one about this, St. Paul Bears.
We'll have to send them some chocolates and a bottle of wine as an apology,
Oh, man. That is unreal. Well, the UFL starts. There's no teams in Minnesota, but that's the 27th of March. The UFL will kick off once again, a 10-game season, 10-week season. They're in training camp right now, ready to start. Major League Baseball has, I think, 9 games left for each team, roughly, for spring training before the final cuts will be made. And then teams will break camp. So we'll cover more of that next week. World Baseball Classic is going on. So the NCAA, what we're going to do here, and we'll cover this more next week on the show, Andy. The Beer Belly Sports, our friends up north, are doing NCAA bracket picks. They've kindly invited us to do the show. So we'll see how we're faring. Andy and I will each do a bracket pick along with the other sports names up there in the north. And we'll see how everyone does. We'll report on that each week.
If you want us to be in your bracket, just leave us an invite on Facebook or leave it in the comments. Go, hey, join my bracket. Send us some invites. We'll fill them out. We don't care.
But
we usually have Connie fill them out for us anyway. So
exactly. So anything else going on that we can think of?
Like I said, just follow our social medias for the women's brackets and the men's brackets as those games proceed. There is no Minnesota State tournaments this week. The boys basketball is next week, so it's all sections this week.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
So there's a week off in March Madness.
I know it. Kind of shocking.
The
I don't
girls.
know if that was a scheduling thing because of the arenas, how that all fit up. I've never
That could
thought
be.
those are happening. Which, because you look at the basketball, it's 4 brackets. They go all the way down to consolation championships. You got 3 games. We only got so many arenas around here. You think we got enough, but I crumble. And then because of the weather we're having here, Saturday they moved the evening games up. They went noon, 2, 4, 6, boom, 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 boom. Or no, I think it was 10 noon, 2 and 4. That's what they started at 10. Got those games done with because of the weather coming. But I don't know. Do you need to go to a 5th place game? Between Target Center, you can play basketball at the X. You got William Arena. You got Ritter.
I think they play Concordia.
You can use Concordia. You can go to St. Thomas. We got the arenas around here. Maybe the smaller schools could play at St. Thomas. Yes, it's nice to play down in the big city arena. Not trying to ruin their dreams, but man, there's a lot of bussing around in different hotels. And everything else. It's spending for those teams, but
it's a logistical nightmare to get all that done. Hats off to them all helping out to do that. They did have to move up some of the championship games on Saturday because of the blizzard that came into town. So they had some shuffling to do there. But one tournament left, boys basketball.
Yes,
and then it'll be focused into spring sports after that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next week. Leave your comments below. And World Baseball Classic, the finals, Tuesday night.
Yes.
The final for World Baseball
the Social Schools finals too. Yep.
Sounds good. Have a good week.
Bye.